Hello and welcome to the OX5 Property Blog. This week we're going to be looking at the lettings market and looking at Q3 of the lettings market. So what I'll do, I'll hand over to Liam Jones and he'll just go through where we are with Q3. So Liam, over to you really.
Yeah, well it's very much of the same thing really. We're seeing further developments in terms of what's going on with the change to tenant fee structures. That's gone through the second round of voting in the House of Commons. We can be pretty much assured of the fact that that is now going to become legislation. How or what that legislation actually is finalised as being is still up for debate. My feeling, reading the news, is that that's going to be focusing more on safety certificates and deposits than previously stipulated. I mean, things like EICRs, your PAT tests that were normally prerequisites for HMO landlords, I think are going to be rolled out across the board for anybody that rents property out. I can't be certain, but those are certainly the noises I'm seeing. I mean, my advice to landlords is always prepare for the worst, hope for the best. If you're ahead of the game, then you're never going to get caught out. With the deposits, that's more interesting. I'm seeing a few bits. I mean, we went through this maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Allegedly, there's over £1 million worth of deposits, or £100 million worth of deposits that are out there in the ether that aren't protected. So it's a lot of money we're talking about. I've got a feeling that we will see changes to the legislation relating to how deposits are registered and proof of such. But that's really it. I mean, it's going to cause massive ruptions within the industry. We're subject to 171 odd legal bits as it is anyway, and we're a bit of a buzzword. So just be aware that that's probably going to get more. Yeah. Interesting though, obviously at the end of the third quarter you get the statistical information for the first half of the year. So for the first half of 2018, there's some interesting statistics that come out. Landlord purchases is one that I focused on, because of course that will reflect on what goes on the letting market. This first half of the year, I think it was 12.1 billion was spent on landlord purchases, which sounds like a huge amount of money. That though is 30% down on where it was in 2015. So if landlords aren't buying as many and some landlords are shedding some, then effectively it's a supply and demand market. If the amount of available property goes down, then of course rents go up, which of course for landlords is great, but with what's going on with Brexit and what's going on with the legal change to the tenant fee structures, I'm not necessarily certain that it will follow suit with that. That of course is an interesting thing, but more interestingly obviously we're budget month, so as opposed to looking back, looking forward, in the last 18 months we've seen the emergence of the Airbnb market in this country, which obviously was big business in America and other countries prior to that. But I think 30% more people are claiming their tax allowances on where we were this time last year for short-term lets, if you like. So I think landlords who are doing Airbnb, who are doing short lets, probably need to be looking out for those changes in this budget.
And we're seeing a lot of those in OX5 as a whole.
The thing about OX5 is obviously we're just on the peripheral of one of the most tourist-orientated cities in the country, and Oxford is Oxford. So there are lots of landlords that I know favoured Airbnb, certainly during the summer months. Whether or not those turn out to be as lucrative as they have in past years is perhaps something to keep aware of when we get around to budget day. Yeah, I mean, that really, in terms of what's going on at the moment, is just basically more of the same. But as we move forward throughout this year, going closer towards Brexit, and when those changes are actually implemented, that's when we'll probably get some more interesting things occurring. Yeah,
and a bit more come the budget and come Brexit. Legislation changes and Brexit. Yeah. So there'll be a lot more to come from the letting side. So no, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Liam, for your insight there. And yes, stay tuned, and we will have some more information and look forward to Q4 on sales and lettings as well. Many thanks, Dan.